to do our first move on my over because it's very simple. I exert a lot of pressure. It doesn't require a lot of hip manipulation to make it work. However, because he knows exactly the direction this is going to go, a lot of times what's he doing? He's putting that hand up, he's hitting the knee as it's trying to go over. So because this is such a common pass, a lot of times people are defending it very well. It doesn't mean you shouldn't use it. You should be very proficient at it, get better at it than your partner is at defending it. But we need other options. If I'm just going to do the same thing over and over and over again, what's everyone eventually going to do? I'm not going to not let you do it. So let's look at a couple of other options. To start with, let's think about going, again, attacking the belt line, but we're just going to attack it a different way with our low leg. So once I'm in my classic position, from here we're going to change things up a little. I'm still exerting my pressure. I've tried to bring my knee over. It's not happening. So from here, first thing that's going to happen, I'm going to bring my underhook out. I'm going to come over the top, and I'm going to pinch my elbow towards his head. And if you're back there, you might want to swing over this side. I'm coming over the top and pinching back with the elbow. And I like to take my forearm and roll this up just a little bit because that's going to give me just a little bit more control for my next movement. For my next movement, I'm bringing this hand back, going shallow side with it. Because again, I'm about to switch hips. I'm about to remove my low knee from his hips. So when I do that, I need to have another kind of protection down there just to make sure he's not going to capitalize in the guard. So from here, I'm going to drive my feet back and sprawl, and I'm turning my high hip to the mat. And I'm bringing my bottom leg underneath, and my bottom leg is going to drive to his hip. Weight is down on his chest, and now instead of my top leg being here, instead of my hand being here, I now have my bottom leg preventing the recomposition of the guard. This hand checks the hip, and I'm coming away with my hips, not away so much as I'm going vertically towards his head. 1, 2 on the shrimp, and that opens up a lot of space down here by the hip. Once this space is open, BJ Penn made this super famous during his run at the Worlds several years back. He's flexible enough to just make this next movement. It's absolutely impossible for me, so I make sure he needs a little help. So to cheat this, my top hand's grabbing my laces of my top foot. Hand to laces, I'm bringing my foot high, and now I'm just threading my foot across the belt line the same way that I just took my knee. Once my heel hits, I physically place my heel on the hip, and now I'm using my heel to pull, and I'm pulling with my hamstring where my knee comes over, and now I'm turning my hips down, and I'm immediately in my mount position. Hands out to base, and we're good to go. So, one more time. From my underhook, my classic position, over the top with the top hand and pinch. Roll under the shoulder to help control as I'm doing this. This hand comes over to my shallow side, and I sprawl back. Once my hips have room to turn, my high hip or my hip towards his head points towards the ground. Once that's towards the ground, my bottom knee drives up, and I actually physically touch his hip with this knee. This foot helps me shrimp. This top hand checks his hip, and I go 1, 2 vertically towards his head. I'm still in good contact all along the side of his body that I'm on. This hand catches my laces, and I thread my foot across, and I physically place my heel on his hip pointer. Once I'm there, I pull with my hamstring, and I use this to drive my hips up and over. I'm pulling with my knee, and now I turn my hips down until my knee positively contacts the mat. Here, here, and then I'm in my classic mount. Questions?
Is your weight in your hips or on your chest?
Right on my chest. So when I'm here, I'm driving him. I'm being kind of nice here because I'm talking and I don't want to hang out on his ribs the whole time while I'm showing the movement. But in reality, I'm here. I'm riding on those ribs until I'm here. So he's carrying my weight. Make sense? Great question. Awesome. Let's give it a go.